Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Learning Forward show. This Saturday, we meet a lady who set about to join the Indian Army, but that remained a dream for her. Well, she did even better than that. She started teaching people who would join the army. So she virtually created a platoon, a battalion, a regiment of young soldiers teaching at the RIMC, teaching at the General BC Joshi Army Public School. Uttarakhand has been her home and she's loved this place. Teaching in day schools, teaching in boarding schools, teaching in schools all over the country. And her students are in awe of her. They seek her advice because beyond just teaching and pedagogy, she is wonderful in pastoral care, a mentor, a values driven visionary, one who, starting from her days in Mayo College, has come a long way traveling through schools in Rajasthan, in Madhya Pradesh, in Delhi, in Dehradun. Years of service and hard work took Neelam back to the mountain where she now has refuge, very near Missouri. Looking down into the winter line, she reflects often and has agreed to share her passion with her. Welcome to the show, Neelam Sharma. It's an honor and privilege to have you with us, Neelam.
Thank you very much, Sandeep ji. I feel honored and privileged to be on this platform to share my passion for education. I started my journey way back in 1984 in a school in Jaipur, and I've come a long way traveling across the country and having the opportunity to also travel to some European countries to understand the school education system, which gave me a beautiful experience and an exposure which I could share back home with my colleagues. Passionate about education, coming from a family of educationists, I feel that one can better the society, also better one's living style, living standards, and fit better in a system of a family, of a society, as well as be loved and respected by one and all in whichever sphere or profession one chooses to be. I feel the children then, when I was young, and children now are just the same. There has been no change in the children. It is that we adults have changed, we older folks have changed, wherein the children have become what they are today. Trust me, my experience has been talking to them is great fun. They accept you very willingly. They accept you in whatever you share with them, tell them. And I have had a wonderful time being with the youngsters, and I feel it is all up to we older folks as to how we mentor, how we groom, and what is the upbringing that we give to them. As teachers in the school, as head of schools, and above all, I believe cooperation of the family is very essential for a very bright, happy, healthy, good individual. And that is why I have this passion for education.
Please stay with us. We will be back after a quick commercial break.
It's been wonderful working with Learning Forward, more so because I've had the golden opportunity of being the founder as well as the sponsor and the first chairperson of Learning Forward India. It was indeed an honor and privilege to stitch together the affiliate and bring in hundreds of people from all over the country as our members. In 3 years, we've come a long way. We have worked with a few dozen schools. What's most beautiful about Learning Forward is they are committed to raising the bar for the teaching and learning profession. And we as an affiliate strongly support that. And Learning Forward is but a natural step for everyone in life. Affiliate has to live by the spirit of Learning Forward. And not just be in design and policy,
but in terms of purely connecting with the educators and helping them appreciate what they are doing. Affiliation is more about appreciating the spirit of learning. To understand the global implication of education, you must become an affiliate.
Thank you, Neelam. It's very nice to hear from you talk about number one, travel. So, my first question to you in my coming series of questions in this short interview is how travel affected your life and why you think travel is an essential part of education?
Travel is very important because first and foremost thing that is required to be successful in life is punctuality. And when one travels by personal car, by train, by road, by air, you need to be punctual. And traveling has helped everybody, whoever has traveled by whichever means of transportation, to be half successful in life. Or I would say 75% of success comes when you are punctual. So I learned punctuality. And then traveling is when you visit schools, you work in different schools, different states, different places, different culture, different mindsets. It is a great learning.
You know, I like this idea about mindset. Sorry for coming in your way because I thought that should form part of my next question. Because as you talk about mindsets and you also talk, how do we adapt? Because that's where I wanted to bring this in. You also mentioned children do not change, but we need to adapt. So mindsets and adapt. Can you share a little more on how you think we should adapt? I respect your punctuality idea, but how should we adapt to bring about love, respect, care as adults for young people?
I'm reminded of the saying and this line of Wordsworth, child is the father of man. It is the children who teach us so many things. And if we adults are prepared to be able to adjust and accommodate and adapt ourselves to what is their need and requirement, and what is the need and requirement of the hour, they are the best people who can tell us because they know in the times that they're living. So it is very important that we adapt and listen to them. If we start listening to the children of today, then we adults, educators, parents can adapt ourselves very comfortably to the children. And then this generation gap will be bridged a bit, in my opinion.
Wonderful to hear this ability to learn from listening and from listening and learning. It's a very interesting point you brought up. In addition to this, you highlighted the role of family in education. And having worked so many years in schools where pastoral care is the key, particularly the residential schools where you worked in, and where sometimes I get carried away to say education is perhaps more holistic. How do you see the family and the same experience translate into life and living in a boarding school? The role of a family in growing up, that's what I want you to highlight.
It's a very pertinent question, sir. I would like to express this way, having grown up on this Mayo College campus. The parents trusted the educators. The educators had to meet all the requirements of not only an educator, a teacher, but also good parenting. Because in a boarding school, 9 months to 10 months of a year, the children are in hostels and under the care of the educators. The educators had to play multifaceted roles and still have to pay and are playing in boarding schools. That is why boarding schools exist today in the country. I can share one incident with you, which I still remember. My father, having been at Mayo, asked me to go and get 2 softy ice creams from the canteen, which was close to the house. I ran across and brought 2 softy ice creams, and I was delighted that we are going to have ice cream. I'm going to have one and somebody else is going to have one, and that would be my sister or my father. But then it turned out to be that a student came in after the games, and I was asked to pass on that ice cream, one of the ice creams, to him. And I said, why is it so? He says, in the morning I had scolded this child. So I was a teacher then. Now it is that since he's in a boarding school, who will he share or what I had done to him? Had it been, if he was a day scholar, he would have gone and shared with his parents, and his parents would have consoled him and spoken to him and counseled him. Now that is the role that I'm going to play now, by offering him an ice cream and sitting and chatting with him and telling him that yes, in the morning he went wrong and this is how he needs to improve. So this made an indelible impression on my mind, and I felt that yes, during school hours, working hours, we are parents, we are teachers, educators, but at the same time, these students in boarding schools have to have brother, sister, parents on campus, and that is what the staff, students, the staff, teachers, mothers, and their children, staff children, play for these students in the boarding school.
On that note of trust and well-being, I want to thank you for sharing a very personal story, and more than that, for highlighting the role of a family and trust, and how we need to adapt to meet the learning requirements of the children today. Thank you for being with us. Thank you for helping us take learning forward, and wish you long years on the beautiful mountainsides where you sit, where you pray, and when you wish well-being for everyone.